Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn lesson number 10, creating a form. Can you see these are the different forms what we fill up on internet? This is the registration form, this is another registration form. Okay, so this is how we can create a form for our website. Here also one registration form is there. Okay, now it's time to interact with your users. To find out what the visitors of your site have to say about your website, you will need to provide a way for people to interact and to enter information on your website. Now, for example, if I want the visitors, those who are visiting my website, should give some comments. Okay, so if I want them to give comments, I should give them certain space to write the comments. Okay, so that the people, the visitors can interact with us. So we need to give them a form. Okay, forms help you to do this. Users interact with the site server with the help of forms. A form may contain regular text and other HTML elements such as text box, password box, text area, checkbox, radio button, drop down list, and a simple button. Okay, so if I say form, I have to have many different elements on the form. Okay, these elements are called form controls. There are certain controls which are there on the form. Form controls are the items a user will fill or manipulate with the desired data. Okay, the designer, the owner of the website can change the design of the form. Wherever he wants, he can keep the text box, password box. It is his wish, right? As we have seen here, these are the different forms, right? Here the names are there, and here the text boxes are there. Here I have a city. If I want the user to write, mention city in which he lives, here only few content are being given, right? So it depends on the designer, on the owner, what information he wants, and he can get it from the user. Next is form. To create a form, simply add details and associated tags in the form document. Okay, if I just want to create a form, I can just specify the form tag. A form in HTML is enclosed between form open and form closed tag. These two tags have to be there if you want to create a form. A form should always have at least one submit button. Okay, because you need to submit it to the server. Where will the information go? The information will be stored in the website server. Okay, from there we can fetch and we can see what the user has entered. The form tag tells the browser where the form starts, and the closing form tag indicates that the form definition ends. The syntax for writing the form, action. Now these are the attributes. Action, method. Action, we need to specify with the URL. Method, we need to give two values, get or post. Now what do you mean by action? Action is this attribute specifies URL to which the form data should be sent. Where I want to submit the data, or where I want to store the data, that particular internet address or URL has to be given in the action, because when the user clicks on submit, where the data should go, that address has to be specified in action. And method, This attribute decides how to transfer the data. There are two ways of transferring: get and post. This is how the coding for an HTML form would be. We'll see it in the next slide, right? As we are writing HTML head title, we need to write that. Then we start on it with the body tag. In this, we start with field set. Okay. First, form. This is the opening form, and I want this method action. I'm giving next page.html. Okay. So if I say next page.html, that means my data will be submitted to this page. From here, the form begins. Next, enter your details. I'm giving H3 heading, enter your details. Then I have name. I need to specify name, and then here is the input type. Because of this, I'll just show you. Because of this is type text. That means I want to input a control. Okay, a form control. Which type of form control you need to specify? That is a text. Text stands for text box. Okay, what is the size? My size is 12. What is max length of the text box? It should be 20. Okay, br gives me the break. Next line I have password. Now what is the type of this input I want to insert? This type of control is password. What is the difference between text box and a password box? For appearance, both are same. But if I say password, if I type in that, I will not see the text what I have typed, but I will see the asterisk mark, right? Because the password is hidden. So I need to mention which type of box, password box or text box you want. You need to mention. Size is 12, max length is 20. 2 BR I have given. Then I need to mention date of birth. I want from the user date of birth. Okay. So input type. I can type the date of birth as text box. Okay. It depends on me how I want the user to write. Next is input type equal to text. Next is my text box. Okay. Size 2, max length 2. Input type as text. Now here for date I am giving three text boxes. Okay, first is for date, month and year. Size 6, max length 4. Then your age. BR input type as radio. Now age can be anyone, right? So here 5 to 8 years, either the person or the student will be from 5 to 8 years, or he can be from 9 to 15 years. Okay, but anyone, not both, right? So we are taking the control as radio button. Next is hobbies. If I want the user to mention what are his hobbies, then I'm giving hobbies. And here for hobbies, not necessarily a student has only one hobby, right? He may have many hobbies: reading, writing, music, dancing, playing. He may have n number of hobbies. So here I can't give radio as the option, radio button as the option, because radio is only used when I want single selection. Only one condition is true there, right? But if I want checkbox, then to use, I need, with the help of checkbox, what happens is I can get many different options selected. So I can go for reading, I can go for music, and I can go for traveling also. So everywhere I need to mention it's a checkbox. Next is traveling. Enter your city. Where you want to travel, right? So enter your city. Which city you are from. So I have these options given. Now this is a drop down list. Okay. It's a drop down list. That means when I click on a arrow, I get a list down instead of me uh, just my page I'm filling up with the checkboxes and radio buttons. Instead of that, just a small drop down button. Okay, but I can have n number of options in that. So first option is Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad. Okay, so I close my select. That means I have closed my drop down list. Next is enter your comments here. So if I want the user to give a comment, it's not possible that the comment will be there in one single line, right? If I want him to give the comments, I want him to give a big paragraph. So that time this text box will not work because text box is just single line. I want a multi-line text box, right? So that multi-line text box is text area. Okay, so I need to mention how much area I want, how many rows I want. I want rows as 4. Okay, and the name I have given as comments. Text area close, input tab. Now here I am creating a submit button. Okay, submit button is the button. By clicking on that, my data will be submitted to the action, right, to the next page.html. So what value I want to give to the submit button is submit data. Form end, field set end, close body and close HTML. Okay, now get and post. These are the two different methods what we have seen while sending or transferring the data, right, in the form. Now get method, what it does, HTML documents are generally retrieved by requesting the URL from the web server using the get method. By default, form method is given as get method. When you type URL such as http www.meetmumbai.com/student/abe.html. Okay, this is just a URL of a website. Into the web browser, it is translated into a valid HTTP GET request such as. Okay, if I mention this in my URL and I'm finding out, searching out this, then automatically what it will get it as get students abc.html http 1.0. So what it will do is it will convert the URL into a get method. The get method means that the data in the form is to be sent to the location URL specified in the action attribute. Okay, then the limitations of get. What are the limitations of get? Most browsers limit URLs to several thousand characters only. So what is the disadvantage or limitations of it? That it only allows you to send 1,000 characters only, several few. Okay, get will encounter problem in foreign language environment. When there is a foreign language, this get method cannot pass on the data. Third is it is not secure since it appends data in URL that is visible to any user. Okay, so get method is not secure. What about open method, post method? Post method, when a large amount of data is to be passed on to the server. Now first difference here it tells us about the large amount. It can handle large amount of data. The post method is used. Post overcomes the limitations of the get method. In the post method, form contents are sent to the server in the body of the message. Okay, so the contents are being sent. This is highly recommended. Okay, whereas here in get it was not secure, but in post it is recommended to use by everyone. It is even possible to send the entire file using this method. Okay, so what are the advantages of post? Large amount of data can be submitted. It is also possible to send the content of a file using this method. It is secure as information is visible only to the concerned users. Okay, here it was not secure and here it is secure. Okay, get and post. The limitations of get are overcome by the advantages of post. Now we'll go through each and every form controls. Okay, as we have seen what is the codes for creating a form and form controls. First control we are going to see is text box and password box. You can create a text box that allows the visitor of your website to enter a line of text, just one line of text if you want. This form control is normally used to enter names and addresses. Okay, to do this, type this code. Input type equal to text, name equal to text, and size is 20, max length 10. Okay, so this type, what is this type indicating me? Type of control. Name equal to text1, name of the control. Size equal to 20, size of the text box, and max length, width of the text box. Okay, so here this is how we write form method as post. Heading 3, enter your details. You can see it here, right? This will give me this as output. Next, name. Can you see this name? It's same as here, name and colon, right? But this tag, input type equal to text, size is 12, max length 20, will give me a text box here. Can you see a text box? Right? This full, whatever is written in this angle brackets, right from here to here, that is giving me a text box. Next is password box, right? As I have written here password, the same way it's seen here, and then right from here till here, I have input type text, size is 12, max length is 20, right? Okay, so like this I get a password box. The password box allows the visitor to enter confidential or secretive information such as credit card number or password. Whichever information is secret, very confidential, we need to go for password box. It prevents other from reading the information as the characters typed in the box appear as asterisk on the screen, right? Whatever we type in the password box, it is converted into an asterisk form and you get to see the asterisks but not the characters. How to write that? Input type equal to password, name as text, size equal to 20, max length equal to 10. Okay, so important here is type as password. Next is text area. The text area control allows visitors to enter several lines of text. Okay, how many lines you want? I can't say I want just one line or two line. I may end up with 4 to 5 lines, right? So this is ideal for getting comments or feedback from the visitors. To do this, type this code, text area without any space, name equal to comments, calls. Calls are columns. How many columns and how many rows you want, you need to mention that. Columns 35 and rows 10, text area close. Okay, so if we see here, this is our text area, name as comments and rows as 4. Okay, so text area close. So I got this as my text area with 4 rows. checkbox. Checkbox in a form enables selection of one or more than one options. Very important here. When we are going to use checkbox, when we have more than one option which the user can select. Like as we have hobbies here, right? Reading, music, traveling. He can opt for all five. He enjoys all five. So he can select all three, all five, right? But here I can't give any other option wherein only one should be selected. No, he's fond of music also, he's fond of traveling also. He can be, right? So input type equal to checkbox. I need to mention it here. And the name of the element as hobby. Body, form method, post, action, next page.html. This is the example for checkbox. Now here, I like. It's same as here, I like. And then I start. Whenever I see input, these are my elements. Checkbox, first checkbox, and I get a reading here. Now here, just one simple change has done. Okay. Here I am giving the names first, the text first, and the controls. But here I am giving the controls first and then the names. So first I am giving the control input type as checkbox, and the value for that is reading. What does that checkbox tells me? That you can go for reading. The next checkbox for music, the last checkbox for traveling. Okay, this is how you can go for checkbox. Next is radio button. The radio button allows selection of only one of the several options. How many? Only one. Right? To do this, type this tag, input type equal to radio. I need to mention a radio here. Right? You need to use the keywords which are there. Here I am using check box. I am not using just check. But here I am using radio only. I am not giving radio button. It's radio. HTML body, form method, post, action, next page.html. This is the example of radio button. I have given this as heading 3. Then I can create forms, right? Same way, without any headings, without any formatting, I can create forms. I want the user to give me a feedback, right? I'm asking the user, do you know to create a form? Yes or no? So yes or no, either or. He can't say yes and he can't say no. Both options he can't say, right? So here I have radio button which selects only one option from several options. So I have given type as radio. Yes, no. Next one is drop down list. The drop-down list allows the visitors to select one item from a list. Okay, there are many options in a list, but I can select one option from that list, and that is drop-down list. To do this, type this code, select opening tag, option. This is my opening select tag. First option is Mumbai, option close. Second option is Pune, option close. Third option is Delhi, option close. Select close. Okay. So in my drop down list, I have Mumbai, Pune, Delhi. Next part is, can you see here? Just if I see a normal text, it's just Pune. But if I click on the arrow which is shown here, then I will get a drop down list stating Mumbai, Delhi and Ahmedabad. The list will come down and from that list I can select any one option. Next is buttons. Buttons are used for performing any action such as clearing the contents of a form when clicked. Yes, I can create a button wherein I can tell the button that if user clicks on it, you need to clear whatever has been written in the form. Okay. Then a form can have more than one button, right? One clear button, one submit button, one reset button can be. The most commonly used buttons are submit and reset. Two most commonly used buttons are submit and reset. The submit button is used for sending the contents of the form to the server, and the reset button is used for restoring the form into its original state. That means whatever I have written, just cancel everything and I want a blank form. That is a reset form. How to write the codes for it? Submit, input, type equal to submit, and value. Value is what you want the name appearing on that button. Okay. So here I can write submit button. Here I can write click here. I can write download. I can write submit. Okay. So whatever name I want to give, which has to be appearing on the button is given in the value. To create a reset button, type this code. Input type equal to reset, value as clear. Can you see here? This reset and here clear is different. Reset is a reset type of button, but value I want it as clear, cancel, delete. Okay, all these values can be used for reset button. Now this is how just the example of buttons, submit data and clear. Okay, see here, submit data and clear. So I got two buttons here with the type as submit and type as reset. Next is field set. We had used in the first one, that is field set. What do you mean by field set? A field set tag is used to group related elements in a form. Okay, what do you mean by group is, can you see a frame here, a border with a black border, right? And I have personalia, right? So in this is a related information what I want. I can give qualification as a group, and in that qualification I can ask 10th, 11th, 12th marks. So I can have courses learned. So I can have a different group in which what the courses, different courses you have done, you can just mention in that particular group, right? So field set is a kind of groups what we are creating of related elements in the form. The field set tag draws a box around the related element. Can you see a box here? A box is drawn. The legend tag defines the caption of for the field set element. Okay, here can you see there what is the name of the group? That is what is legend. Form, field set, legend, personalia, legend close, name, input type text, br. Next, I want email of the user, so I can give the input type as text box and he can type. Email is the one wherein I don't want it to be encrypted or I don't want it to be seen in the asterisk mark, right? Email is just my email and which is using all symbols, letters, numbers, he can use anything. Next is date of birth. I am giving text type only for field set also. Okay, this is how my field set a group is created. Now forms for different applications includes, first form is registration form. It is generally used to select the information about the user for an authentication purpose. Okay, so I am using it for authentication purpose. Second form is subscription form. It is used for subscribing different advertising materials, wherein mailing contact information of user and the topic of his interest is entered in the form, right? So subscription, if I want to subscribe for any novels, any comics, any magazines, right? So we can go for creating a subscription form also. Comment response form, as we have seen in the previous slides, that if I want the user to give the comment, he can give it in comment or response form. Many sites collect comments or feedback form its viewers and let viewers suggest improvements. Next is order form. In this era of e-commerce, it is commonly used by most of the users for ordering online, right, from online stores. This form will typically include information necessary for online commerce such as user's address, credit card number and order information. So you can use n number of forms with respect to your website, what you are creating. Okay, and I want you all to find out some more forms which can be used in the websites. Okay, so this is the exercise what is being given. I will be sharing you all the answers with it. Complete your books. Thank you.